Good morning, student. Welcome to online teaching session of Academic World School Bemitara. This is our fourth lecture in which we are going to study about nucleophilic substitution reaction. So before start, I am instructing you all, please take out your notebook and pen so that you can make a note on it what I am going to deliver today. So in our last lecture, we have completed the nucleophilic substitution. We have completed the chemical properties of haloalkanes, haloarine, in which we have completed elimination reaction and reaction with metal. This is the third chemical property and the last chemical property of haloalkane and haloarine named nucleophilic substitution reaction. So, as the name suggests you, the substitution takes place by nucleophile. What do you mean by nucleophile? I am representing this nucleophile by a negative sign. Nucleophile means nucleus loving. Nucleus loving. And nucleus means positively charged species. Means those species which love to attract with the positively charged species are called nucleophiles. Hence, they always exist in terms of the negative charge. So, what happened when we give the substitution reaction in our haloalkane with the help of this nucleophile? So, see the general reaction, what will happen? If Rx react with any nucleophile Nu minus, what will happen? As you all know, these shared electron get attached with this X ion and this will make a partial negative charge over the X atom and the partial positive charge over the R atom. As because nucleophile means positively charged loving species, these nucleophile attack the R, alkyl halide. So, R will react with this nucleophile plus a leaving group. This X minus is termed as a leaving group. Because in this nucleophilic substitution reaction, these leave as a byproduct of this reaction. So, the nucleophilic substitution reaction are of various types and there are various nucleophiles which are going to attack with this haloalkanes and haloarines. The most common nucleophile which we are going to deal with is our hydroxide ion, halogen ion, cyanide ion and etc. Okay, then proceed toward the types of this nucleophilic substitution reaction. We have two types of nucleophilic substitution reaction. These types are first SN1, which is nucleophilic substitution, and this one stands for unimolecular. And the next is SN2, in which nucleophilic substitution takes place in bimolecular. So first we will discuss about SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction, here you can see in SN2 reaction, the S stands for substitution, N stands for nucleophilic and this 2 stands for bimolecular. So what is the meaning of this bimolecular? Bimolecular means the rate of the reaction and the molecularity of the reaction is 2. It means that, see in this general reaction, there are two reactant molecule, Rx and nucleophile. So, in SN2 reaction, the kinetics means the speed of the reaction which is termed as rate of reaction. Rate of reaction depends upon two of the reactant, means both Rx and nucleophile. Hence, their rate of reaction depends upon the two molecules Rx and nucleophile. Hence, the molecularity of that reaction is 2 and the kinetic of this reaction is called a second order reaction. Second order reaction. So, this is the first characteristics of SN2 reaction. It is a type of a bimolecular reaction, and bimolecular means the molecularity of that reaction will be 2 and the molecularity means the rate of reaction depend upon the 2 of the reactant molecule. Second characteristic is SN2 reaction always occur in a single step. When a nucleophile attack the attacking molecule, the reagent molecule, it will form a product in a single step reaction. So SN2 are generally occur in a single step. Third, in SN2 reaction, we require a polar but aprotic solvent. What do you mean by aprotic? A means no and protic means proton. Those solvents which do not have proton, for example, acetone, CH3, CO, CH3. Hydrogen does not mean a proton. Proton means a free proton. For example, HCl, H plus Cl minus, H2SO4, H plus SO4 2 minus. So hence, in acetone, there will not be any free hydrogen to take place. These SN2 reaction occur always in the presence of a aprotic solvent. And remember one thing, aprotic means no free proton, no free H plus ion to attack. The fourth characteristics of an SN2 reaction is the attack of SN2 reaction is always occur from the back side. This is very important to understand. If we take any example, if suppose in a nucleophile I take the example of OH minus and attack with methyl chloride, and in place of this backside attack I'll put this nucleophile in the front side. What is going to happen? This OH minus is a negatively charged particle and this Cl is also a negatively charged particle. Hence, these two negative ions, as you all know, the like poles repels each other. So, these two negative ions repel each other. Hence, this repulsion will not give the effective product of the reaction. So, in SN2 reaction, the attack is always from the back side. So, these are the four characteristics. The fifth characteristic, before starting the fifth characteristic, first we will discuss about the mechanism of this reaction that will proceed toward our fifth topic, fifth characteristic. So, remember one thing, when this X minus attack the nucleophile, it will give a nucleophilic substitution reaction. The mechanism of this reaction, suppose OH minus ion, when it attacks from the back side in methyl chloride, what will happen? This OH minus is going to attack with this methyl chloride. Hence, this chlorine atom will leave as a leaving group. So, first they make a transition state, which is OH minus is going to add with this carbon. The transition state of the carbon will change and this X minus is going to leave this compound. This is an unstable product. As you can see, carbon have the valency of 5 and you all know carbon exists in a tetravalent nature. So, this is called a transition state which is formed for few seconds. Transition state. And this, when going to break, this will form this methyl chloride with OH, leaving behind the Cl minus. This is a single step reaction. In between these two states, a transition state is formed, but the stability of this state is very less, so we cannot consider this. But remember one thing, that the addition of the nucleophile and the removal of the leaving group, they both occur simultaneously. So this is a single step reaction. And the most important thing, as you can see, this methyl hydrogen atom invert themselves like an umbrella. So this type of stereochemistry is called inversion. So our fifth point, fifth characteristic is SN2, the stereochemistry of SN2 reaction is always inverted. When there is a backside attack of the nucleophile, the methyl chloride will invert itself and form this type of compound. This is the fifth characteristic of any SN2 reaction. Coming toward the reactivity of SN2 reaction, this is the sixth point. Coming toward the reactivity of SN2 reaction, it is inversely proportional. Reactivity is inversely proportional to steric hindrance. Very important, steric hindrance. What is steric hindrance? Steric hindrance is a type of repulsion in which nucleophile will experience when the groups are very bulky. For example, if I choose this type of reaction where these 3 hydrogen atoms are very small. So when these atoms are very small, the nucleophile can easily attack with the atom. But if this same OH minus will attack with the group like CH3, CH3 and CH3 with Cl. For more clearance, I will make it as this CH3 as H, 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 this CH3 as H, H and H, and this CH3 also. Now we have to attack this nucleophile to this atomic reagent, this atomic molecule. So please see to it that the group becomes so bulky that when the nucleophile attack to this reagent, it will undergo a repulsion. That repulsion is called it as a steric hindrance. So remember one thing, for any SN2 reaction, the reactivity is primary is more reactive, then secondary, and then tertiary. And the reason for this is it is due to the effective steric hindrance of the nucleophile, effective steric hindrance of this bulky group, which will not able to attack the nucleophile more effectively. So this is our sixth characteristics of SN2 reaction. The reactivity is always primary, then secondary, then tertiary. But what will happen if I change the halogen? Here I am taking only chlorine. But what about fluorine, bromine, iodine? So the seventh characteristics of the reaction if the reactant halogen atom is F minus or Cl minus or Br minus or I minus, what is the trend which is going to follow? So the reactivity, the seventh point is the reactivity of the halogen. Not in the case of this alkyl group. If I change the halogen atom, the reactivity will follow. I minus will always be greater than that of fluorine minus, and the reason is because I minus is a better living group. And this better living group is because of the bigger size. You all know that when we move down the group in a periodic table, the size of the atom increases. It means because the size is very big, the bond strength will be very weak, and because of this bond strength, they will act as a better living group. And for the SN2 and SN1, both the reaction, the living groups are very important. If the leaving groups are so easy to remove by the following mechanism, our mechanism will be more easier. So this is about the SN2 reaction. It is in the bimolecular state, means kinetics depend upon the two of the reactant molecule. This is all about the SN2 mechanism with 7 characteristics. Now proceeding toward SN1. I hope that you are noting it down. We are going to deal with SN1 mechanism. It is S stand for substitution, N stand for nucleophilic, and this 1 stand for unimolecular. The first characteristic is the same. Rate of reaction. What about the rate of reaction? Rate of reaction depends upon only one of the reactant. Hence they are called it as a unimolecular substitution reaction. So rate of reaction depends upon Rx, not of nucleophile. In the SN2 reaction, the rate of the reaction depends upon both of the leaving group and the alkyl halide. But in SN1, the rate of reaction depends only upon the one reactant, which is alkyl halide. Hence, the kinetic of the reaction is called first order reaction. First order reaction. This first order reaction is due to the kinetics depending upon the one reactant molecule. The second characteristic is this type of mechanism, SN1, will occur in 2 steps. And what are they? They mainly occur in 2 steps. First is the formation of the carbocation. Formation of the carbocation. You have earlier studied, you have already discussed in class 11th also. Carbo means carbon, and the carbon containing the positively charged ion are called it as a carbocation. And the second is attacking of nucleophile. In SN2 reaction, the attack of the nucleophile and the removal of the leaving group occur simultaneously. But in SN1 reaction, first we have to form the carbocation. That carbocation will attack with the nucleophile. So they occur in a 2 steps. Third is this type of reaction require polar protic solvent. Polar protic means which have H plus ion. So here you will be considering CH3COOH, where this H plus is free to move, HCl, where this H plus is free to move, and H2SO4, anything which contain a free H plus ion. So this SN1 reaction will occur in a presence of polar protic solvent. And the fourth characteristic of this SN1 reaction is about the mechanism. So the fourth, the attack of the nucleophile. The attack of the nucleophile is from either side of the reagents. In SN2 reaction, we will always attack the nucleophile from back side because of the repulsion of the halogen atom. But in this case, as halogen atoms are not present because of the formation of the carbocation, nucleophile can attack from either side, or the front side or the back side. So this can be attacked from either sides of the reagent. And last, about the mechanism, what will happen? In this case, as we are considering the formation of carbocation, you all know the stability of carbocation follows 3 degree is always more stable than 2 degree than 1 degree. So in this case, the attacking reagent will be tertiary. So CH3, C, CH3, CH3, Cl. The name of this compound is tertiary butyl chloride. As you all know, this reaction occurs in 2 steps. In first step, what happened? This tertiary butyl chloride will cleave from this CCl bond and form CH3, 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 one positive charge, and the carbon containing positive charge is called carbocation. This is the first step, which is formation of the carbocation. And Cl minus. As chloride ion is not there in carbocation, the nucleophile will attack from either side of the carbocation. Hence, in second step, this is our first step, this is the second step in which this carbocation attack with the nucleophile and form this type of compound. The name of the compound is tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol. The main thing is this reaction is reversible in nature and this is the slow step. Hence, this reaction is required, this reaction is known for the kinetics of the reaction, because the slowest step depending upon the rate of the reaction, we will not calculate the fast reaction mechanism. So this is the first step with reversible and slow. So in this, first we have to cleave this CCl bond, make the formation of this carbocation. This carbocation will attack with the OH ion. This is either from the front side, either from the back side, doesn't matter, and will form a tertiary butyl alcohol and the substitution is done. So the fifth characteristic of this reaction in SN2, we have see that the inversion of stereochemistry of SN2 was inversion. In this case, as the nucleophile can attack from both the sides, the product will be either dextro, means the clockwise, or it will be levo, that is anti-clockwise. Hence, these type of mixtures are called racemic mixture. So the fifth characteristics of SN1 reaction, the fifth characteristic of SN1 reaction, stereochemistry of SN1 is always racemic, or you can say racemization. This racemization is also known as 50% inversion and 50% retention. Inversion you all know. In SN2 we have discussed this inversion. What about retention? If you take the example of any carbon satisfied with the valency ABCD, you want to replace this D by L. So A, L, C, B. In this case also, you want this D should be replaced by this L. A, L, C, B. Here you can see this D is get removed and L will add, but in the same place of D. This is called retention. But in this case, D get removed and the stereochemistry is also changed. Means D is present in our right, but now after the chemical reaction, the substituted product, that is L, is present in the place of B. So this is called inversion. So hence, in SN1 reaction, nucleophile can attack from both the sides. The 50% of the product will be retention and the 50% of the product will be inversion. You can also say that 50% will be clockwise, 50% will be anti-clockwise. Hence, the optical rotation of this type of compound will be 0. As you all know, the dextro and levo will cancel out each other and the optical rotation become 0. We will discuss it later on. Now, sixth property about the reactivity. This is about the mechanism part. The sixth property is about the reactivity. So, this is the opposite of that of SN2 reaction. In that case, we have discussed the primary is more reactive. Here, tertiary will be more reactive, then secondary, then primary. And the reason is very clear, as there is a formation of carbocation, and you all know the stability of the carbocation is 3 degree, 2 degree and 1 degree. But why? Why this is so? Why tertiary carbocations are more stable than that of primary? The reason is the electronic movement, which is called positive inductive effect. Very important. As there is the presence of 3 methyl group, the electron of methyl group will be shifted toward the carbon, this also and this. The whole will shift toward the carbon atom, will make the carbon as an electrophilic center and make them more reactive. But in second case, there is only a presence of 2 methyl groups. So 2 positive inductive will take place. And in the next one, only 1 methyl group is present. So here, as there is a presence of 3 electron donating group atom, they are called it as a positive inductive effect, and the reactivity is like that, 3 degree, 2 degree and 1 degree. The last characteristic of the reaction is the formation of carbocation is over. The last characteristic would be the nucleophile only. It is same as that of SN2. As you all know, iodine are bigger in size. So the seventh characteristic is the halogen atom, the nucleophile I minus will more reactive, then Br minus, then Cl minus and then F minus. So is because of the greater atomic size of the I minus. So this is about the SN1 and SN2 reaction. Let us proceed the differences between what we have discussed so far in SN1 and SN2 reaction. So you can recall it also. Before that, I am going to solve 2 questions here based upon SN1 and SN2. Suppose question is one, two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In these 2 cases, which one would be more reactive toward SN1 and SN2? How you are going to deal with this type of question? So, in this case, you will always focus upon the reactivity of 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohol. Here you can see the chlorine atom is attached in the second position of the carbon atom, or here the chlorine atom is attached in the first carbon atom. So, in this case, secondary carbocation is more stable. Secondary carbocation is more reactive than that of 1 degree. So, in case of SN2, first one, this will be more reactive, and in SN1, the second case, which contain the second degree, 2 degree carbocation is more reactive. Second, this is the last question. If I take this Cl or this I. Now, your answer will not focus upon the carbocation, it will focus upon the nature of the halogen atom. Out of these 2, which one will undergo SN2 faster? Because this is not the case of SN1, as we are not considering the secondary and the tertiary carbocation. We are dealing with the primary carbocation. So, out of these, this I will be the more effective nucleophile, as because iodine is a better nucleophile. So far we have discussed about the 2 important SN reaction, nucleophilic substitution, unimolecular and bimolecular reaction, about the kinetics, about the solvent, about the reactivity, mechanism and that of the reactivity of the carbocation, and in SN 1 we have discussed so far about the kinetics, solvent, and the nature of the halogen atom, the nature of the carbon atom. So in our next class we will going to deal with the chemical properties of haloarine. The assignment regarding this particular topic will be uploaded in the ERP, so look into that, and please make sure that this assignment is mainly going to assessed in PT1 also. So please do it in a right way, and thank you. Have a nice day.